Hello and welcome to another video in this YouTube series for Sellerfuse. So today I'm really excited to show you this one. It's the sourcing dashboard. So as you know, Sellerfuse is a profit dashboard for Amazon sellers. We give you data, sales data, all your orders, refunds and whatnot. Now we are going to pivot. So we show you data that Amazon gives you, but now you've got the power to actually start bringing things on board on Sellerfuse. So let's forget about you having to open up Excel and typing in what item you've purchased, where you've purchased it from, all that. We've got pre-populated dashboards here that are going to amplify your efficiency. So let's get started and I'll show you exactly how this works, and I'm pretty sure you'll be jumping on board, because if you're excited for it as I am, then yeah, you'll be signing up. So for your first one, we'll actually hold your hand for it and we'll get you to add your supplier. So what we're just going to put here is Amazon Germany. I'll just put DE at the end of it for some reason, just to confirm that Germany is DE. You can fill in as much or as little as you like here. So obviously if you've got some private suppliers that you know you need to speak to specific people, but you don't want to like be going for emails all the time looking for them, definitely put them in, and I'll show you why this is going to be worth it. So Amazon DE contact at gmail.com, because Amazon working off a DE. Amazon contacts one, we'll call them, and we're going to call them Amazon DE building, just so we've got some supplier info here, course stuff. So we're going to create that supplier. You can see the supplier is then created and it pulls through the contact name and their email address easily. So if you were searching for suppliers, you'd be able to pull some information fast. Now, we're going to go back to the dashboard because it gives you your next step now. It wants you to create your first purchase order. Before we do that, I just want to show you again on this dashboard here, we've got no information populated other than your supplier count. So it's tracking Amazon Germany as a supplier. Obviously you've got no orders yet, so we need to deal with that. When you come to create your first purchase order or any other purchase order going forward, you'll be asked to, there's some details here we do have to fill in. So your purchase order number, if you've been given a certain purchase order number and you want to enter that, you can put that in there, or you can generate a purchase order code. Now that's just going to be a number, which is a date followed by the time with like millisecond timestamps. And then we've got our list of suppliers here. If you do need to add any new suppliers going forward, you can use the suppliers tab at the top, or you can just hit add and you can enter the same details there, which will be a little bit faster than going to a different page and moving around. So yeah, once we've entered our supplier, we go down to our status section. Now, depending on what's going on with your item, we're going to mark this one as ordered, because you don't really have pending orders on Amazon. It just gets ordered. Delivery address, we're going to put this to one that we've pre-populated, which is prep center. Now you can add a new address, and we support various types, from warehouse, prep center, your home address, or even other. You can just pop in whatever you want there, and then you've got special instructions which you can use as like a note basis, and enter all the information that you need. We've got one sourcing method set currently, and yet again, just like all this, you can add new sourcing methods if you need to. So if you actually do private label, you can enter private label there, and you can create the method and you can assign this item that's sourced to that private label. For now, we're going to stick with A2A just because we've named this Amazon Germany, and we're going to put the order date as today. Now, if we put the order date as today and select, say, estimated expected delivery date of, say, next week, we'll show you what that does in a little bit. This is where it starts to get fun, because you've got your PO, you've got your suppliers, but you don't really, in the olden days, that's what I'm going to call it now, Sellerfuse is on the block. So in the olden days, you would have entered an ASIN in your Google Sheets, and you'd have put a cost price for it. We don't do any of that. Look, you total cost, we can't do that. You can enter your shipping costs or your tax costs, but this is where we start to get a little bit more into it now. So I'm just going to go and grab a random item. We're going to grab this game, PS5 Mafia: The Old Country. So I'm just going to pull the ASIN really quickly, and I'm going to go to add product. Now, when I press add product, it wants the ASIN. So we give it the ASIN, and it finds the product for us. So look, instead of you having to paste item title, price, ASIN, it depends how far you go. If you go brand, it's just populated it for you, and it's giving you an expected sell price. Now, to get the expected sell price, it does use the current price found on Amazon. So that's something to deal with. If you want to sell for more than that, you're more than welcome to. And importantly, you need to put your cost of goods in. So your buy price per unit, let's say we spent $19.99 on this, and look what that populates. You can actually see your profit expectations per unit. So it gives you a full breakdown, which you can see here, revenue, costs and profit. And we have the option to add that to the purchase order. Now, before I just go ahead and do that, we can see here we can actually add a quantity of 1. You can go up to however many you want, however many you have purchased. For now, for this video, I'm just going to stick to 1 unit, just to keep things easy to explain. Brings us through with the unit price. So total buy cost $19.99. If I was to buy 10 of those, that would show $199.99, and all these would expand the same. You can add your shipping costs or tax costs if you are charged like any import duties or anything like that. And for your final piece of data keeping, you can pick your payment method. Again, you don't have to do this, because I know some sellers, maybe it takes a bit too much time to do all of this for some sellers if you're purchasing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units per day. And also some of you sellers might not want to fill this sort of stuff in. It's completely fine. It is financial data, but that's why we only request you to put like your last 4 in. So we cover that basis there for you. Because a lot of sellers, they do purchase with multiple cards, or they've got virtual assistants that have their own spending cards, so we can really start to drill down into this. We're going to delete that because it doesn't matter for now, and we're going to create the purchase order. So purchase order has been successfully created. Order date, expected date, your PO. As you'll see, this starts now to look a little bit like an actual invoice. That's the way I wanted to design it. So it is an invoice ultimately. So I wanted to keep this stored here for you. Now we have all the fees that are broken down here that you can view, and you can see what your profit is per item. So obviously that's quantity 1. If that was quantity 10, you'd see all this multiplied by 10. If you had multiple items in this list, you would also be able to do that. And finally, if let's say for example we did purchase this from Amazon, they would give us a order summary and an invoice when shipped. So we could actually upload these to here, and then it would give us a full A to Z of actually ordering the items, having all the data that you will need for it, including everything from like supply details. If you did want to enter the payment information, it would show there. And yeah, that's the purchase order completed. So we're going to go back to our list now, and we'll see in our purchase orders we now have a monthly spend of $19.99, because that's all we've spent on this unit so far, 1 unit. We did preset a £500 budget, so it shows us that because we spent $19.99, we've got $480 left for this month. So a lot of sellers work on this basis that they need to spend X amount of money per month. So if you are one of these sellers, this budget figure here alone will work really well for you. We go to suppliers, and we can see again, we can start seeing now a full breakdown of like how many times you order from a certain supplier, what you spend, what's your profits estimation, and what your average order cost is. So we're just going to quickly jump back to the dashboard before we go over to the next couple of sections I want to show you. We've got 1 order, 1 stock ordered, estimated profit of £15, monthly spend £20, actually $19.99. Upcoming deliveries, this is where it starts getting more interesting. So when you've purchased your orders, like imagine if you purchase 100 things from Amazon, you're not going to be able to keep on top of all 100 things, but if you put them all into this system, then we can actually tell you what you have got coming up soon, and it will help you really with your stock before Amazon. So this is a test account I'm using for YouTube videos, but I have got stories of actually people that have said, I forgot I ordered this specific order number from Amazon that's not actually been delivered, or it's been cancelled, and then it's only been this system where they've seen it has been cancelled, because they've got so many of Amazon orders, like they're going through like 5, 6, 7 pages, they don't have time for it. So there is definitely a great use case for this purchasing hub. So we'll see then. We haven't set a budget for this month, so if we go in and set a budget of 500 just there, and then we go quickly back to this one, you'll see the monthly budget status. So the monthly budget is £500. We've spent £20 and we've got 480 left. So in terms of your progress, you've done 4% of your spend goal. You've only got one supplier here, so I'm not going to be able to show you too much in terms of this, but you can actually filter it by order, profit, spend, whichever way you like, and whenever you look through your suppliers, you'll be able to see the breakdown. Because again, we've got a £15 profit item here and it's the only one item, that is your top performing item. And then we start to see a breakdown here of your total spend and your total budget. So we can see here, I have been playing around with the budgets, but you can see I haven't been buying anything. So I've put some historical budgets in just to populate this chart. But it doesn't start to grow until I set July and August budgets, which is where we actually have a little bit of spend. But once you start populating this with data, you will be able to get full analytics of your spend. So yeah, this is the dashboard more or less explained. What I'm going to do is take this ASIN again from here, keep using the same ASIN. We're going to actually go through to our gated checker now. This is a pre-sourcing tool that I've made, so you don't have to buy an item and then when it gets delivered you realise you can't actually sell it. It's happened in the past to many sellers. There are tools out there that you pay a subscription to check if you're gated or not, basically. But if you're a Sellerfuse member, you've only got to go to the sourcing hub and press check ASIN. Then when you press check ASIN, you'll see Mafia 2K approved. You can sell this product. You are approved to sell this product. It gives you the estimated fees and it gives you the competition that are on the listing as well, including the buy box price. In addition to that, you will be able to see the going rate from Keeper. This is the Keeper graph, nothing I've made up, but it is a useful tool. A lot of people like this Keeper graph, so I've integrated it into the gated checker. Next up, although we show you the estimate fees here, 827, we do have a built-in fee calculator, which is a little bit more advanced. So this will go into it. Let's look at let's put some different figures in here. So this one goes into it a little bit differently, and it pulls through all of your VAT details and whatnot. So you can see from your selling price, your cost of goods, populate the Amazon fees there, and also if you have any prep or delivery costs, they are added in. If you're VAT registered, we will calculate the VAT and we will give you the estimated profit from purchasing a single unit at this cost. So that again is something which sellers love. It's a fairly straightforward tool, and it gives them the data that they need and the data that you need too. So it really is helping sellers. And the final thing I want to show in this video before we wrap this one up is the duplication of the purchase orders and the system of marking them as delivered in transit. So to duplicate an order is really simple. So you literally have a duplicate button here, or you can run it from here too, but we're going to stick with this one because it's a bit more, it's on the page. So what you can do, duplicate a PO, it gives you another PO number, and you can pick to keep the original prices that were on this purchase order. So it depends how you want to track your it depends how you want to track the Amazon data, whether you want to stick to the historical or whether you want to say, no, you know what, give me the data now. Now there's no point in pressing that now because we only pressed it 2 minutes ago, the price hasn't changed. But it is a handy tool for helping you see how the profitability of an item has changed in a long-term process. We then just hit duplicate purchase order and we get sent straight to that purchase order, and we can see everything is the same other than the purchase order. And if we go to POs, we've got 2 POs listed here now. The only difference in them is the actual purchase order number. Okay, so we do have one more thing to show you here. So it's these buttons here. So it's from having your items being ordered to actually being in transit. So what we do when you've had your order item, if it does get dispatched, you can get your VA to whether your VA checks your emails or whether you do it. You can hit mark in transit. You can actually hit also fully received, and then this PO you'll lose the button there because it's been fully received. So the order is kind of completed, and then off you go. You can do the next one. This source hub is one of the features that we have really been excited to pull out and deliver to our members. We are constantly developing new features, new tools, even add-ons to existing tools. Like for example, last week this gate checker didn't exist, and then somebody asked a question saying, "Oh, I've purchased some items." You know, it wasn't even like a request. They were just like, I think they said something in the general chat about they purchased an item that they didn't realise they weren't able to sell it until it had been delivered, and it was a bit of a ball ache. But that gave me a bit of an idea to help them. Like they can check beforehand now, which is just value added that we love adding to So if you like what you see here in the purchasing hub and you want to get involved with sourcing, feel free to jump on sellerfuse.com, sign up, and also join the Discord community, because if you've got any more so that brings the end of this video. If you do like what you've seen in this purchasing hub, feel free to jump on board sellerfuse.com and get yourself signed up. We've got a 30-day free trial. We give you free back data via Amazon sales, and then you can access the system. You can use the sourcing hub as well as some other tools as well.